Good day and welcome to this episode of DIR Let's Talk Sense. I'm your host, Beaumont Todd, the Training and Communications Manager here at the Department of Inland Revenue. And we just want to welcome you to this week's episode. And we have a special guest with us from BAHSFA, which is the Bahamas Agricultural, Health, and Food Safety Authority. Mr. Christopher Worrell, who is the Director of Technology, Advancement, and Development at BAHSFA. And so we're going to get into it with Mr. Worrell today, and then we're going to talk about a little bit more of some of the other updates and stuff that we have going on at the Department of Inland Revenue. Mr. Worrell, welcome to the show.
Beaumont, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me.
Now, I have to admit, and I'm guilty of it too, a lot of persons, I think, are not familiar with BAHSFA, what it does. And I was surprised to find out that it's actually been around from 2018, if I was correct.
Mm-hmm.
And so for those who are not familiar, please, what does the acronym, first of all, stand for? Because I think I may have messed it up a little bit, but also what does your agency actually do?
So actually, you did a good job with that.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. My English teacher would be glad.
Indeed. No, so BAHFSA, the Bahamas Agricultural Health and Food Safety Authority, we are serving as the regulators for animal health, plant health, and food safety. Just to make it more concise, if you are going to the food store or restaurant or dealing with anything with food, we regulate to make sure that the food is safe. If you are a farmer or if there's a disease that might be of an animal nature, BAHFSA is there to protect the Bahamas from any of those animal diseases, as well as plant. So if you are a farmer as well and there's a plant disease, we're there to protect the country from those diseases, making sure that food security and public health simultaneously are maintained. But I would say that there's also a second branch aside from protection. Let's just say you are a Bahamian business and you want to get access to other markets. They have a lot of rules and regulations that you need to be able to meet if you want to access them. So BAHFSA comes alongside businesses and other stakeholders so they can actually see Bahamian products in other countries, in other markets. If you want to just get into the hotels, BAHFSA can really help you access those markets and overcome any of the sanitary and phytosanitary restraints. That just basically means hygiene.
And we're talking a little bit about, how
Registration, yes.
registration. And because I know a lot of persons are now getting into the food industry and different things, farming, they have to come to you to get their registration or their certification, I should say, in order for them to come to us to get their business license.
That's absolutely right. So BAHFSA is working to actually improve the ease of doing business by having a completely online and digital system for being able to get your certificate of registration, which is the prerequisite to getting a business license if you are a food business. So that's one of the things. You can go straight to BAHFSA on their website, BAHFSABahamas.com, and you'll be able to see where it tells you where you can get your e-inspection done. And that really gives you your registration. So once you fill out the form, put in your information, you'll get an email back. It'll give you your certificate of registration. And so you'll be able to provide that to Inland Revenue to get your business license.
So I'm a new person, my first time getting in business. Why don't you walk us through the process for the food registration process and how someone can register with BAHSFA?
Yeah, so we wanted to make sure that the public had access to a digital solution. So you can apply and register straight from the comfort of your own home. So if you go to www.BAHFSABahamas.com, you'll be able to see the actual e-inspection portal right on the front page. Once you click that, you'll be able to fill out your form. It'll send you an email where you give all of the information that you're going to need for your certificate of registration to be fulfilled. It'll also give you the option to put in the date for an inspection so that you can get your certificate of registration within about 48 to 72 hours. You should get your certificate of registration. You would then give that to Inland Revenue here at Beaumont's great organization. You'll be able to get your business license ASAP.
This is getting me excited now. So, because I love food, so I will grow my own farm at the end of the day. But that'll be another thing. It'll be farmer taught. How has the food registration process been going? Are you seeing more businesses registering now than before?
We are, because first of all, I'd like to say that this is new. BAHFSA has really been trying to focus in 2025 on one, making sure that the Bahamas and Bahamian businesses can meet international standards. And that's going to be critical if you want to get into any of the hotels that are here, as well as international markets like the United States, Europe, or if you wanted to get into the Latin American market. These are difficult places to get into, but BAHFSA can assist, but you need to be able to meet those standards. And that's really what this registration and the e-inspection system allows us to do. So one of the things that we would always recommend is that people go onto the website. Right underneath the e-inspection portal are the 10 steps and a checklist on how do you successfully meet all of the conditions of your e-inspection. So take a look at that on the website, and that gives you the tools that you need to pass every inspection so you can really access those markets.
Now, I'm going to just throw this one out there because, a lot of persons have not just their mom and pop stores. Does this apply both to commercial as well as home-based businesses that they have to go for BAHSFA if they're dealing with any type of food or food item and handling?
That is correct. As a matter of fact, it goes a little bit more than that. Yes, the commercial establishments as well as home businesses. However, we also now have to make sure that liquor establishments recognize that they need to get their business license right after they get the certificate of registration from BAHFSA. So if you look into the Food Safety and Quality Act that BAHFSA is responsible for, the definition of food includes all foods that are reasonably or are being used for human consumption. And so that would include alcohol and liquids. So if you are creating juices, teas, if you're doing foods from your home or from a commercial establishment, that captures the whole concept of food. And that's really how we can really regulate and make sure that food safety is maintained in the country.
Is the registration process also extended like to the family islands? And if so, how have they been responding?
It does extend to the family islands, and we would say that we've already gotten registrations from about 9 islands thus far, and we've got quite a bit of feedback from people who may have not even known that they were not getting access to markets simply because they weren't meeting certain conditions. So we encourage the family island members and food safety professionals to collaborate with us as we are going to the different family islands. This year, we're going to be going to Abaco, we're going to be going to Eleuthera, we're going to Andros and others. We've already gone to Grand Bahama and Exuma, but we're going to get to the ones that we have missed. So we're coming for you, and we're going to get you the information that you need so that you can access the portal and then also access markets. But we are really excited to work with our stakeholders in the family islands. They've been very receptive.
You have any special events coming up on any of the family islands persons should know about?
As a matter of fact, yes, we actually do have a planned trip to Abaco. We're going to be in Abaco February 16th to the 18th. We'll be arriving on that Monday, but on the Tuesday at 6:30, we're going to be having a town hall meeting. This is where we're going to get stakeholders to give all of the questions that they want answered about how do you get your certificate of registration if you're a liquor business or if you are a home-based business. If you have any questions about accessing markets, if you're a food business, so we encourage the members of Abaco. We're looking to see you there on the 17th, 6:30. It's going to be at the Murphy Community Center, the Murphytown Community Center. So please come out and speak with your island administrator if you want to get more details about how BAHFSA is going to be coming to your town, because we're going to go both to the north and to the south and see if we can maybe even perhaps come by and even do an inspection if you're able to put your certificate of registration application in time.
And it sounds good. And definitely the Department of Inland Revenue intends to be there alongside BAHSFA to answer any of your questions about your certification, your business license, as well pertaining to this. So this is definitely a partnership I'm excited about because a lot of times, persons hear about tax paying, they think it's just about that. We want businesses to be successful. We also want businesses to be able to operate at an international level because then it opens up so many doors and opportunities for our Bahamian persons across the board. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our first break right here. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about some of the other things persons can expect from BAHSFA, as well as we'll talk about some of the updates and stuff that we have going on right here at the Department of Inland Revenue. We'll be right back from our first break.
Today, you will learn how to pay your VAT bill in the online tax administration system. Begin by visiting vat.revenue.gov.bs and log into your account. Please note that if you have multiple taxpayer accounts, you must select the appropriate one. Now, once on your taxpayer account, hover over the My Tax tab and click Make a Payment. Next, click on the green Pay Now button to begin your payment process. Here on the Select Items to Pay page, your VAT fees are listed as items, organized by tax type, period, due date, and payment amount. If applicable, select all items to avoid additional penalties, interest, and fees. Then click Continue. On the Review Payment page, you can change the payment amount for each item. Finally, continue on to the last page where you will make your payment, seen under Payment Summary. Payments can be made with Visa or MasterCard debit and credit cards. Credit card information is never stored by the Department of Inland Revenue. Please note that you may be charged a convenience fee for this payment. This fee is charged by the payment provider, not by the Department of Inland Revenue, and will not contribute towards your tax. For more information, visit our website at inlandrevenue.finance.gov.bs or follow us on social media at DIR Bahamas.
And welcome back, DIR Let's Talk Sense. I'm your host, Beaumont, Todd. And of course, we have a number of things that are going on during this month of February for you, and we just don't want you to miss out. Of course, just a quick reminder to persons, again, that definitely you're going to have to be making sure that you're getting ready to pay for your business license on the 31st of March, as well as your real property tax. VAT payers, again, we have the 14th for our large taxpayer unit, as well as persons who are paying regularly on the 21st of each month. And I advise persons, please, when it comes to your payments, don't just pay on the day of. If you're going to send payments through the bank, we encourage you to make sure you do one of three things. The first one is the government itself has over 60 something plus different bank accounts. Make sure, and we have 13, make sure you have the correct information for the correct payment that you're making. You can go onto our website again, inlandrevenue.finance.gov.bs, where there's business license, VAT, whether you're paying real property tax, go to the particular tab that you're working with, and you will see the payment information for the correct account. Make sure you give all of the information for the payment that you're making. We also encourage persons to pay directly through the portal because it hits your account immediately. If you go through the bank, understand it may not hit for 2-3 days after the fact, especially if you're going through the bank payment. So we encourage you to make sure that you're paying the correct account and you give yourself sufficient time because you don't need to get fees if you don't have to. Now, the other thing we have definitely going on this month is also our essay competition, and we are encouraging persons. We had an excellent turnout last year, and we are encouraging persons this year. Parents, get your kids involved. We want them to be involved and to be a part of it and to win the prizes. I wish I could enter, but hey, at the end of the day, this is about you, making sure we educate you about what's going on, the changes in taxes, and to hear from you what it is that you have to say. So we encourage you to definitely sign up. You can be signing up on our website, inlandrevenue.finance.gov.bs, or as well as check out any of our social media platforms at DIR Bahamas to check out the essay competition, the rules, the guidelines, and the information. You can email your questions to dir_comms@bahamas.gov.bs and make sure that you get involved. We had over, I think, at least 60 different schools that were involved throughout the entire Bahamas last year, and we don't want you to miss out. It's for those persons in primary school inside grade 6 up to tertiary level, up to age 21. So get involved. And definitely at the end of the month of March, we have 2 symposiums going on. Not one, 2 symposiums. One is going to be for our persons who are getting involved in business for the first time. And if you still need assistance with your business license renewal and payments, we'll be there to assist with a number of other government agencies. Along with that, we are having a high school business preparedness. We want our young persons, when they go into business, to have all the right information that they need to start out on the right foot and to do well. So we are excited about that. And that will be on the 30th and 31st of March for the business preparedness for the high schools, 11 and 12. And we will have on the 25th and 26th our second annual financial symposium. Last year was exciting, and we're looking to have a number of our partners, the banks, the media houses, just to make sure you have all of the right information to do your business locally and internationally. And so we're excited about what we have going on. Now, I'm not going to tell you April yet. I'm going to hold off on that for you when we get to March. But definitely, we're looking at just possibly having another month of VAT education. Oop, I let the cat out of the bag. But that's okay. We want you to be a part of that and to be involved in that. So, Mr. Worrell, right before we went to the break, we were talking a little bit about how persons can get involved on the family islands. If at the end of the day they have questions, how can they reach out to you to inquire or make any inquiries that they actually have?
Certainly. So one of the things that we want to make sure is that we give access to everybody to give us a call, or you can go to our website, BAHFSA.Bahamas.com. There's a contact us page. You'll be able to send in information directly if you have a query, whether it's about importing agricultural goods, whether it's about the e-inspection system so you can get your certificate of registration, whether it's about a question of hygiene, how do you access certain services from BAHFSA, because we have quite a few. But then also, because of our policy on food safety, we actually encourage, if you see something, say something. So if you see a business that looks like it's being a hygienic hazard or potential threat to public health, please, you can give us a call or you can email us at BAHFSA.Bahamas.com.
Now, we've seen some food businesses face closure. How can business owners avoid this and stay in good standing?
So I mentioned this a little bit before, but on our website, we do have a section when you go to BAHFSA.Bahamas.com, right underneath the e-inspection portal, where you would be applying for your actual certificate of registration. You're going to see a checklist. You can use this as a self-auditing system. So you can just click the button and download it, and it'll tell you exactly what you need to look out for so that you'll be prepared to pass that e-inspection that'll come at some point in time right after you get your certificate of registration.
So, beyond closures, what other notices does BAHSFA issue?
Oh, yes, of course. So when it comes to the notices, BAHFSA, while we might be having closures, we actually really rely on improvement notices for the most part. Because for the most part, nobody's really a threat to public health to the point that we have to shut you down for the most part. There are those rare circumstances. But the improvement notice will tell you exactly what it is that you need to improve on. For example, if you have an opening in the ceiling and you need to get that fixed because that can be a problem, or your staff need to be trained a little bit more in hygienic practices, making sure that you have clean and tidy or organized systems in your kitchen, in the area where you are serving, making sure that you're following best practices.
Okay. Food and Safety Unit will soon require commercial alcohol importers to present a certificate of origin. When will this requirement begin and why is it important?
Yeah, so let me give you a little bit of background on that. It would have been early last year, we would have received reports from certain brands that the serial numbers on certain alcoholic beverages were rubbed off on certain alcoholic beverages that are being sold into the country. This is a problem because it prevents traceability. And because of that, we've implemented the alcoholic beverages permit, which allows people who are trying to bring food in to be regulated so that when it gets to the store, customers know that alcohol is exactly what it says it is on the bottle, making sure that it's fitting all of the labeling requirements and making sure that it also is going to be authentic. That is a core issue that we wanted to address. And so in the second quarter of this year, we'll be implementing that, and we're going to be having hybrid webinars to inform the population on how to actually apply once that's rolled out.
Okay. And I have one last question before we close out.
Okay.
How can the public report a complaint and how can business owners learn more about food safety and improve their operations?
Well, I would say still go to BAHFSABahamas.com. There is a contact us page, and we are very responsive to that. Or you can get us on the phone, and you can just give us a call, or you can email us at BAHFSA@BAHFSABahamas.com.
Awesome. Mr. Worrell, thank you so much for being our guest on today's show. Any final remarks and comments for our listeners before we close out?
Well, I would say thanks for having me, and stay safe, Bahamas.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of DIR Let's Talk Sense. I'm your host, Beaumont, Todd, the Training Communications Manager here at the department. And I just want to encourage all of our FIRSTers, just stay compliant. At the end of the day, we want you to be successful. Your success is our success. We'll see you next time right here on DIR Let's Talk Sense.